Hello students, welcome to Standard 7th. Today we are going to learn Science. Chapter number 1, The Living World, Adaptations and Classification. Before starting our chapter, let we recall what we have learned in last year class. We learn about living thing. In what different ways is the diversity in living thing seen? The diversity in the living thing seen due to their different shapes. As you seen in the picture, all animal having different shape. For example, giraffe, elephant, tortoise, rabbit, etc. Size, even size is also having different. Color is also having different. For example, rabbit is having white color, elephant having black color, panda is having black and white color, and different structure of the body.
This chapter is divided into two parts, that is adaptation and classification. In adaptation we are going to learn about plants as well as animal, and in classification also we are going to learn about plants as well as animal. The diversity in plants. In this we are going to discuss about 3 points. First one is flowering plants. Flowering plants means growing flowers and use seeds to reproduce or make more plants like them. With this picture, you people will be very clear. For example, rose, sunflower, etc. we are going to see in this flowering plants. Now we will go to the next topic, that is non-flowering plants. The definition of non-flowering plants is non-flowering plants do not grow flowers and use either seeds or spores, which are very tiny parts of a plant that can be used to reproduce to grow more plant just like them. For example, we can take mimosa plant, etc. Now we are going to second topic is plant growing in water, in deserts, in snowy region. Microscopic plants means very small plants. Huge plants. Huge plants means big plants. Diversity in animals. First thing is unicellular. Unicellular means single cell. Example, amoeba. Multicellular. Multicellular means many celled animal. For example, we are seeing this picture. Now next one is invertebrate and vertebrate. We will go in detail. Invertebrate means which animals don't have backbone, and vertebrate means which animals have backbone. Now we will see the examples also with the help of this picture. Invertebrate, for example, ant, earthworm, octopus, etc. Now vertebrate, you know very well, so many animals are coming in vertebrate. Now for example is horse, elephant, frog, fish, cat, dog, even we human being also coming in vertebrate. Okay children? You will understand very clearly with the help of this picture. Please children, you observe this picture very clearly and you can understand what is vertebrate and invertebrate. Please observe carefully what is the difference between invertebrate and vertebrate. Now then we will go to the next point. Now the third point is aquatic, terrestrial amphibian, reptilian, aerial. Please observe this picture carefully, then you can understand all these animals are present in this picture. Now once again I am going to ask you one more question. The question is, are the plants and animals from Kashmir and Rajasthan of the same type? Is it? No, it is not a same type, because Kashmir is having very cold weather and Rajasthan is having very hot weather. Now we will see the animal also in this. Now animal in Kashmir are with thick fur. Their bodies is changed to suit the cold climate. Now in Rajasthan is the desert. In this, animals like camel are seen here. Now next point is, in snowy region there are trees like pine and deodar. We are seeing these plants in Kashmir. Now in desert region, the plants like cactus, bubbles are seen. These plants usually we seen in Rajasthan. And the animal you know very well, the camel. The camel is called the sheep of the desert. Okay. The camel, being a desert animal, cannot inhabit colder region of Kashmir. Now I am going to explain about adaptation. Now we will see the definition of adaptation. Adaptations are the modifications seen due to gradual changes in the body parts and in the behavior of plants and animals. These long-term changes help them to adjust to their surrounding. Children, once again I am going to repeat this definition. Please learn it. Adaptations are the modifications seen due to gradual changes in the body parts and in the behavior of plants as well as animals. These long-term changes help them to adjust with their surrounding. Then we will go to the next topic. Now we are going to see adaptation in plants. In this adaptation in plants, we are going to see 6 adaptation. That is, first one is adaptation in aquatic plants. Now children, we are going to see aquatic plant very detailed. Now point wise I am going to explain. First one is firmly rooted in soil. Some plants entirely afloat with floating roots, while some in the water. Second, stems and petioles are soft, flexible. Leaves and flowers float on water. Some plants have thin ribbon-shaped cylinder leaves. This is an adapted to withstand fast currents of water. Now third point is leaves and stem coated with waxy layer and air space inside the stem and leaves adapted for floating. Now I think you people understood with this explanation. Now related to this explanation, I am going to ask you few questions. The question is, why does water trickle off lotus leaves? The answer is, lotus plants have super hydrophobic surface where water drops that falls onto them, bed up and roll off. These leaves not only stay dry, but the droplets pick up small particles of dirt as they roll, so that the lotus leaves are even self-cleaning. You can see this picture. With that you can clearly understand how the lotus is working in water. Now next question is, why don't the leaves of these plants rot in water? The answer is, the most of their leaves have waxy coating on them, so that water is not absorbed by them. Some of them, like lotus, also contain thick layer which helps them to withstand the moist condition. For this reason, the leaf of the aquatic plants do not rot in water. Now next question is, why are their roots short and fibrous? The answer is, it has short roots on the grounds that there is sufficient water in its surrounding, while the fibrous roots enable it to float and pick up lightness. I think you people understood clearly the aquatic plant, how it is working in water. Second, adaptation. Adaptation in desert plant. This is also we are going to see with the point. It is very easy to understand. Now first point is leafless or leaves like small needles. Some leaves seem to be modified into thorns for conserving water. Very little water is lost by evaporation. Now the second point, the stems are fleshy as water and food is stored in them. Modified stems perform photosynthesis and hence are green. Thorns like leaf do not perform photosynthesis. Please observe this picture very clearly, because this cactus plants having the thorns, with that they are observing the water and they are not performing photosynthesis. Now third point is deeply penetrating roots that search the water and thick layer of waxy substance on the stem. This plant is also having waxy layer. As first adaptation we seen, in aquatic adaptation also we seen that waxy layer is present. Same thing in desert adaptation also we are seeing same waxy layer. Before starting third adaptation, I am going to ask you one question. In what way are slopy branches useful to plants in a snowy region? The answer is, the snow should naturally fall off from the branches and should not remain on the tree top. Therefore, as an adaptation, the plants in a snowy region have slopy branches. With this, I think you people understood what is next adaptation. The next adaptation is adaptation in plants of snowy region. Now this is also we are going to see with the help of points. One by one I will repeat the points. Please listen carefully. Now first point is, like deodar and pine are seen in snowy region. Second, trees are conical in shape with slopy branches. Please see picture carefully. Third is, due to heavy snowfall and extreme cold weather, such adaptations are seen. Now fourth is, conical shape prevents the accumulation of snow on the tree. Fifth one is, thick bark helps the tree to withstand the cold. Now once again I am going to ask you question. You people understood or not? Now the question is, what is the shape of snowy regions plant? The answer is, the snowy regions plants have conical shape. Now next one is fourth one, adaptations in plants of forest region. Please observe this picture. We are seeing different types of plants over here. In forest we are seeing big tall plants, short plants, very thin plants. So many different types of plants are there. So this is also we are going to understand with the help of points. One by one I will tell. Listen. First one, a diverse variety of plants, shrubs and herbs are seen in the forest. Second, all the plants compete among themselves for sunlight, because forest is very thick. We are seeing so many plants over there. Third, trees grow tall to capture sunlight, and clambers and vines grow with the support of these trees, and they can live. Now, fourth one is clambers have adapted having sprinkle like cylinders with which they seek support from host tree. Now, once again, I am going to ask you question. The question is, why plants compete among themselves? The answer is, they are competing among themselves for sunlight, because when they will get sunlight, they can grow properly, and with the help of sunlight, they perform photosynthesis. With photosynthesis, their leaves are green and they can grow very well. The next topic is adaptation in grassland plants. With the help of grassland, you understood, I think, grassland means grass. Now this is also we are going to see with the help of points. Now first one is bushes and grasses of diverse type are seen in grasslands. Second, soil erosion is prevented by fibrous roots of grass. Now grass plants have fibrous root. With the help of fibrous root, soil erosion will not happen. Third one is very tall grasses are seen in the equatorial region. Animals like tiger, elephants and deer, they take shelter in this grassland. Very short grasses grows in cold region. Because of cold region, the grass are not growing very tall. In this short grasses, small animals like the rabbit are seen in such short grasses. Now fourth one is vast meadows are found in plain and hilly areas. I think you people understood with this point. Now last adaptation is adaptation for injection of food in plants. Now this is also point wise. First one is most of the plants are autotrophic. Some plants are parasitic. Example, dodder, or you are seen in this picture cuscata, which is leafless and thus cannot perform photosynthesis. Please observe this picture. Above picture you can see the cuscata plant. It is yellow color. With that we can understand that it is not performing photosynthesis. So the color is yellow. Second one, there are historical routes for sucking and absorbing nutrients from the host plant, and it grows on a host plants. Third point, fungi cannot perform photosynthesis as they lack chlorophyll, and they obtain food from starchy foodstuffs. Roots like fibers are present in them for absorption of food. Now next point is plants like Drosera, Venus flytrap. Please see the picture Venus flytrap. Down it is there. In Venus flytrap, it is having very attractive smell. With that, insects are attracted to that plant and they are going to sit in that plant. Then slowly that plant close their leaves, pitcher plant, etc. consumes insects to fulfill their nitrogen. The plants in nitrogen deficiency are usually
Related to topic, we will solve few questions. Question 1. Draw the diagram of amoeba and label it in your notebook. Please open your notebook and do this all thing. Question second. Why trees and creepers in the jungle grow tall? Answer is the plants in jungle are many in number. They compete with each other to get enough sunlight. To achieve this, trees and creepers in jungle grow tall. Next question is why fungus cannot perform photosynthesis? Answer is fungus lacks chlorophyll and thus is unable to perform photosynthesis. Next question. Why don't the leaf of these plants rot in water? Answer is the leaf of plants, aquatic plants, have waxy coating on them. There are no stomata on the leaves and thus water cannot enter the leaves. Therefore, the leaves do not rot in the water. Please all this question write down in your notebook. Today we seen about adaptation. What is adaptation? And different types of adaptation in plants. Now in next video we are going to see about adaptation in animals.